Hey, so today let's take a look at this question. This is on Leetcode 1635 Hopper Company queries. It is a database problem. Okay, let's start to read this. So basically it's saying there's a drivers table with these two columns, driver ID being the primary key, then join date. Then we have the rides, right? You can see that there are three columns here, right? Date, user ID, requested at, it's a date. Then we have accepted rides, ride ID and the drive ID, ride distance and the ride duration. Okay, basically, so these three tables. Okay. Then come here is the question. It's basically saying write a SQL query to report the following statistics for each month of 2020. Okay, well, the number of drivers currently with the Hopper Company by the end of the month, active drivers, and so it looks like as long as they're with the company, then they're active. They don't necessarily need to drive. Second point is the number of accepted rides in the month, accepted rides. Okay, then it is the what is that? Return the result table ordered by month in ascending order, where month is the month number. Okay, January is 1, February is 2, etc. The query result from it in the following example. You can see that. Okay, drive ID. Okay, then this is the ride table. All right. Then it is accepted rides table. So right, distance, result table, month. Okay, this is basically the result. Okay, you have month, active drivers, accepted rides. So basically these are all 2020 active. Okay, active drivers and accepted rides. Okay, here it gives some explanation. So it looks like the active drivers, it is accumulated value. So you can see that two active drivers by the end of the January, the two active drivers, and their IDs are 10 and 8. Then February, there one extra new guy joined, 5, and no accepted rides. It looks like because of COVID, they're not working. That's why, and they don't have any accepted rides in January and February. That's pretty sad. And their business got worse in May somehow. In April, no rides at all. So how to approach this? When we see this, there are multiple things in my mind. So basically, we need to get a first. So how to generate the 12 month? Because it looks like and there's not an existing table that's saying okay, it has all these dates available from January to December. There's no such table that we can leverage, so we have to manually generate this one. So that's the first thing. Okay, I'll just type it out. So generate 12-month sequence. Let's call it a sequence. Okay. Second thing, and the second thing is we have to actually connect this 12 months, the sequence, okay, months sequence to these info, so driver and also the rides. So we know that for the drivers, there's a join date. Okay. So join date, this column is available, so we can join this date. We can get the month part and just basically join with the sequence to accumulate value till the point, right? So we have with that info we can solve the first question, that's active drivers. Okay. The next one is we need accepted rights. So accepted rights, how do we get this? Accepted rights, we have this rights table. Okay, so with this intermediate result, we need to join to the rights table and then join to the accepted rights. Because if the right is not accepted, it will not appear in this accepted rights table. So take a look at this. Their right ID is 10 is accepted, but 6 is not there. I'm looking at this right ID, okay? 6 is not there. It's not in the accepted rights, though it is in the rights table. Okay? So so basically we just that's the third step, just join to the right and accept the right table. Rights table. Okay? To get a second piece. Okay? So with this approach we should be able to solve this. Alright? And then so how do we approach to the first one, generate 12 months sequence? So we know that when we look at the driver table, here's some example. Okay, some people they can join before 2020 even. So basically, we need to join a list of the month of like month end date of each month of 2020. So here the language I choose is Oracle. Okay, so in Oracle, what do you do with that? Okay, so basically we can leverage the hierarchical query of Oracle. So I like to do this, use this subquery to achieve this. Okay, so what do I do with that? So from just ignore this part. We will basically use this level less than 13. Okay, since I need 12 sequence value out of this. Okay, so what do I do here? I can put a to date, the generate first 2019 date, 2019, okay, 12/31st. Since we will plus 1, okay, then we can get the result. So here I'm using the to date, this thing, and we need to add this level. Okay, so we use this level as the incremental value to add this month. Here I'm using the add month. So for each of the sequence generated, basically this level will give you a result from 1 to 12. I'm using this one as a parameter to increment the months. Okay, so I just call it ME date. Okay, with this it will give me the list. What do you call it? Okay, ME. I just call it ME month end. Okay, select start from ME. Let's see. Let's just run this. Okay, oh, connect by. Okay, sorry. It should be connected by. So that's what we do in the Oracle hierarchical query. Alright, so it looks like it's doing its job. If you look at here, this is January 31st, 2020 till December 31st. That's what we need, 12, right? So how do we do next? So we need to do a join. So what join do we need to use? We do a left join since we want to keep every month end, okay? So how do we join to this, right? Let's join to the drivers table. What do? We give it alias. For the driver ID, we have alias as D. So then, what do we have here? What do we join on? We join on the month, okay? So since it's accumulative, right? Then we have the ME date here. Alright? Then here drivers join date. Basically, the join date prior to this will be accumulated. In this case, will be counted as the month, counted as like before the month end. Let's say this driver joined in December 10th, 2019. That's prior to January 31st. So it should be counted as before. It should be counted as active driver in January 2020, right? So here I do a count. So what do I count? No, I'm sorry. Right? We should be counting the driver ID. That's what we need to do, okay? Is attribute called active driver. Okay, this will give us. Okay, we forgot to group by. Since we need to group by this, what do we group by? We group by the ME date. Okay. So this is approach. This is not using the window function. If we later, I will show you how to use the window function to solve this. Okay. So we do this and we formulate this a little bit. We just a format, All right. Now we have the first intermediate result, which has the month and date and active drivers. So it looks like we are halfway there. All right. Next one, what do we do is we have to join the these two tables as our plan. So I want to separate this thing out so that everything is clear. Okay. ME's drivers as. So I put this one in another subquery so that everything is separated out. And if we want to debug this, it'll be easy for us to do this. Okay. Alrighty. So the next step, what we do here. Again, we need to do a join. We need to do a left out join. Okay. Left join. What do we join to this table? Give it AR on. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Join to the rise table. Rise table. R. Okay. Join on what? We join on the. The month. Okay. So here since we only need to get a month, we don't need a date part. We just need the month part. So I will do this. ME, we have this ME date format YYYMM equals to. And here from the right side we have the requested date. Okay. Our side, this is the requested. We need to do another left join. What do we have here? Okay, so we have this, we need to join this active rise table because we want to count these, the right ID from here. Okay, so that we can know, okay, by which month, how many active rides are there, right? So what do we do here? On R dot what? Rides. Right ID. Right ID is the primary key equals to this thing. Accepted rides. AR dot right ID. Alright, now we have this information. So here, so this is I want to get the last these things out, this thing out, month, right? So let's just do this. So where do we get a month in the sequence, in such sequence? Okay, what we can do is we can do this. We have the MEID here, but we need to do some conversion here because it's in the numeric format and there's order. So we do this, okay? And also we need to convert this one to a number so that we can remove the leading zeros. Otherwise, if we do you will get like for January you get 0, 1. Okay. Then to number, comma. Well, that's the only thing we want to group by basically, and we want to order by the same thing since it is in ascending order. Okay. Then since we need this one as the output, we put it here. Okay. Then we give this column an alias as month. That's what they're looking for. Active drive. So remember one thing, when we join this ME drivers, in ME driver we already have all these the count of the active drivers. Okay. So here, so we're joining the writes and accepted writes. The number get multiplied. So if we also sum aggregate this number, it won't be correct. So here we do this. It's not a very clean way to handle this, but it does the job. Later on we can simplify this. Okay. Then we need accepted writes. So we need to count this accepted writes. Okay. Then count what? We need to count this writes from the from there. This from the accepted writes table, not from the writes table, because a write can have any writes, any write ID like the 6 we talk about. It exists here, but it doesn't exist in the accepted writes table. So we need to count the write ID from the accepted writes table. All right. Accepted writes table, write ID, and what is the alias of this? This is this. Okay. And since there's some no situation, because if a month doesn't have any let's say drivers, okay, let's say in January, before January or after January, before February, there's no drivers, then the number can be null. So we need to consider this situation, which is handle null here, and default this one to 0. This is what we do in Oracle. Okay. And then in the count part, we also do this. Okay. Now we have our query ready, so let's just take a look at this and see if there's any issue or not. First, we generate this 12 month of February. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2020. Okay, what I'm thinking. Then we have we calculate the first step, count active drivers. Okay. Then we count. Then we do this to get active writes, and we combine basically the active drivers info with this active writes info. Okay. So let's try to run this. Okay. So yeah, never rush. You see I missed the from this keyword. If I do this, it will fail, right? And then we'll take a look at the this. Let's run code. Oh no, it is wrong. It is wrong. So let's see which one is wrong. 230. Okay, why is that? Is it because the alias? Because Leetcode, it tend to prefer lowercase. Okay. Oh, what happened, dude? Different duration. Oh no, see? You need to be very careful when you do this. Okay, active accepted writes. Run code. Submit. This is correct. And it is pretty fast. Wow. Okay. So that's that. So how do we change this if we want to use a different approach? If we don't want to handle this in this way, let's just do this again. let's use other approach to do this, or we can simplify this basically. Right, we have ME, leave out join this. Okay, yeah. You know, if we don't do this, if we use the window function, how do we do this? Well, here we use a similar join here. Let's see, two car. Okay, then we do this. I just copy over this since we want to get each month, and we have the MEID equals to the join date. So let's see, join date. Okay, join date. We join all this, then we're getting a lot of the you know, the data in this case. Okay, let's remove this. Let's solve this just with the window function one shot. Okay, and then we can just copy over these two. All right, what do we do here? Just uncomment out this. Okay, so we do the join one shot. We join all these three, right? Then active rights. We need to have the active rights count. Let's count the distinct, you know, driver ID. This is what we need. Okay. So I will apply the window function on top of this because now we have things like this. We if we don't do this, we have, let me just give you some example. Okay, in the result, we can have, let's say 2020 January 31st. Then we have you know, one driver ID, let's say 6, and then we have 7. After I apply the count, you know, let's just put more data so it's clean. Okay, 22, 28, you know, 8. Okay, let's say there's no driver joining in February, right? So in this case, we won't have the February one after this join. So that's why we need to apply the window function on top of this to basically compress the data to the month level. Because after the join, it's the month is everywhere, is attached to all these tables, right? Rights table and accepted rights table. Okay, so this guy is also the case. We need this guy to be AR dot you know, this distinct right ID. That's what we need. Okay, so but then we need to, you know, accumulate this thing over partition by. You know, we don't really need a partition by because we're not grouping by any of the year, month. We're just doing this. Just you know, oh, I'm sorry. We need to do this since we're grouping by this. So we need this thing to be there. Okay. So we have the ME date, and at the end of the day, it needs to be this format. Okay, so active right, that's the accumulated result of this thing. Then we have this accepted rights. Okay, it's a little bit nasty. Since I have a small screen, let's take a look at the query and see if it makes sense or not. Okay, and this is really a long video. Hope you're following. Hope you you're not falling to sleep. Okay, here same thing, 12 months, and then we join to we have the month result. Join to the drivers, left out join on the month, and we join to the rights, and then join to the accepted rights. Since we need to get this information, the right ID, we need to count it. So what's missing here? Okay, the no handling. The no handling is missing. Okay, probably do this. Let's see. Then the sum. You know what? Let's just run this. Oh no. Where? Missing right parentheses. Help me. Where? It's very hard to look for that. Okay, looks like it's here. It's missing this. Oh no, r.join date is wrong. See, you need to be very careful about these details. So that's d join date, not r dot. So I'm gonna copy this. Let's take a closer look at this. Column ambiguously defined. Where? Sorry, this video is pretty long. It's already half an hour past. You can accelerate, or you can skip this part if it's just too much for you. Okay, I'm just trying to debug this. It's a column ambiguously defined. Most of the time is when I miss the when I miss some of the these alias. This driver ID is missing. The right ID, I have that in place. One more time. Not a group by expression. What? Okay, sorry. Oh man, it's really frustrating. Sorry, it's a pain to watch. What? Wrong answer. It says wrong answer, let me see a moment what is wrong here. So it looks like the first one is not good. Okay, I think the 2019, that record is not being calculated correctly. Okay, so what do we do here? Order by, range. Let me take a look at this. Range over window function range unprecedented. No, it don't get joined actually. It doesn't get joined this way. Okay. So it's not the 2019 one basically is not getting joined to the 2020. If you remember, there's a driver, and this guy is a 2019 joiner. Okay, in the example, okay, in this case he's not being counted in, so that's where we are missing. I'm hesitating to change this to less or equal to this to this, because I'm afraid that it will just calculate a lot of the unnecessary record. But let's see. That is pretty slow. Missing expression. Where? Oh no, okay. Invalid what over ordered by. What is invalid here? Invalid operation. Oh. Okay, it is, okay, it's because this guy. It is because of this guy. Oh man, let's do this. Let's do this. Huh. What's going on here? Man, I'm so stupid. I am so stupid. I'm so stupid. Oh man, how can you do this? Now we have the first one corrected, but this thing is getting too much. Okay? You see, we can now simply do this. This is not the correct way of doing that. Okay, so what do we do here? What do we do here? Let's handle this. Let's handle this. Let's do a case 1. Case 1 to date. You know, if it's great, if it's before the 2020, we count this one as 2020. Okay, 2020 001. Okay. Then I'll make it then we make it 2020 January. Okay, you know, because it's before 2020, you should be counted as part of the 2020. Okay, else it's just the same. All right. And don't forget the end here. So the logic basically, if it's before, if the join date is prior to 2020, then we count this thing as 2020. Okay, let's say 2019. Then we count this one 2020. Let's run this again. See. Boom. This time seems to be correcto. Done. It's pretty slow, bad performance, probably because of the window function, because window function itself does a lot of sorting. Okay, but we just talked about using the non-window function to achieve this, and with the window function to achieve this. If you have any question, please post a comment below. Thanks for watching.